Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where today I'm going to be doing this lemon lime eyeshadow look using two palettes from Ace Beauté. This look was inspired by Angelica Nyqvist. I will link her video down below where she was using the Muppets palette to create this. If you have never been here before, hello, my name is Rachel and I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow and I upload several videos every week. It's all eyeshadow related content, tags, get ready with me as tutorials. If you like that sort of thing and you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing before you leave and hit the notification bell because I've got a lot of videos coming. Now let's get going. The look that I wanted to recreate today was when Angelica Nyqvist used the Muppets palette from ColourPop, and she did a very yellowy green lemon lime, almost neon sort of look. And I thought, I don't have that palette. I don't plan on getting that palette, but I do really like those colors. And I think I have those in my collection. So I pulled out these two palettes from Ace Beauté. This is the Flare palette, and it has this color right here, which is going to be a focal point in today's look. And then here's the Oceanic palette, and it has everything else. It has this one here, and then it's got the deeper tones as well. So I've already primed my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer. I'm going to get started because I'm trying to beat the sun and my children waking up. I'm also trying not to get color all over my white shirt. We'll see how that goes. Here's a dense blending brush. I'm going to dip into the shade Turtle. I swear every time I use this palette, I gravitate towards basically the three shades that I'll be using today. I'm going to put Turtle in my outer corner. And then I'll blend it out with some of these more acid kinds of greens. I wanted to chat with you guys today a little bit about pregnancy, heartburn, and nausea. I had mentioned in a previous video, I don't remember which one, but it wasn't too long ago, where I had been sleeping on the couch here and there because the pregnancy nausea was starting to come back in my third trimester now, which I feel like that's a little unusual for my pregnancies. I don't necessarily remember becoming nauseous again, at nighttime especially, in the third trimester, but I don't know. Each pregnancy is so different and so much happens between them. Like even if there's not a lot of time that's passed, it feels like there's so much life that happens that you forget all those little details. You forget how uncomfortable you are. You forget how hard it is to breathe or climb stairs, things like that. But anyway, I have been getting nauseated at night and also my heartburn is kicking in. And some of my subscribers were really helpful. You guys gave me some tips on what I could do to deal with the heartburn specifically. One person said papaya enzymes. She was talking about how when you eat live foods, such as vegetables and fruit, those things will help. Hang on, let me move to the next step. I'm going to take a smaller and fluffier blending brush and go into algae. And I'm going to blend this on the edge and bring it all the way to my inner corner. So those things, when you're eating live foods, they have their own enzymes in them, which will help break down the food. But if you eat carbohydrates or other things that don't have live enzymes, then your body struggles to digest it. My husband was like, eat more fiber. Then he suggested black beans, and I hate black beans. But black beans are high in fiber. He's like, you won't have any problems if you eat black beans. Anyway, actually, I'm not going to bring this quite to the inner corner. I'm going to stop it around here and buff out the edges. So if your body is struggling to digest, you might find that you have heartburn. And my subscriber said that papaya enzymes can help with that, and she sent me a link where I could get them on Amazon and other places. So I thought that was kind of cool. I haven't gotten them yet, but I did appreciate the tip, and I probably will add them to my Amazon cart at some point if the heartburn is not resolving. And then another subscriber gave me a more at-home remedy sort of thing with items which I had on hand. She said simply take a teaspoon of bicarbonate or baking soda and mix it with a glass of water. And you can do that a couple of times a day. It's natural, it's healthy, it's safe for the baby, but also what it does is neutralize stomach acid. So I tried that last night when I felt heartburn coming on, and I wasn't able to get down an entire glass of water because it tastes pretty nasty. However, what I was able to get down actually did help, and it helped right away. My heartburn eventually came back, but first off, I didn't take the full dosage recommendation, but there was also the fact that, maybe it just comes back over time, but it did help neutralize the stomach acid and deal with that heartburn pretty much immediately, or within 15 or 20 minutes. So that was pretty cool too. I think I want to deepen the outer corner just a little bit more. I've got a small blending brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Pacific. This is actually a very dark teal. It's got some green in it for sure, but it definitely also has blue in it. And I'm literally putting this on the very, very outer triangle. Now I'm going to go into the Flare palette and take the shade Sherbet. I've got this with a pinched and pinched and fluffy blending brush. It's definitely a little smaller. And I'm going to lay Sherbet on the rest of the space that's not covered, including the inner corner, and see how it looks. And I can go from there. I'm not going to do anything on the lower lash line though. Another thing that I discovered recently, and it's funny to me that I've discovered this now because this one has to do with just feeling nauseated, and my entire life is a series of events which cause me stomach upset. Like between motion, and I mean any kind of motion, driving, airplanes, boats, trains, any kind of motion sickness. I have experienced it. Sometimes I have caused it myself. Like my sister and I went on a road trip cross country when we were teenagers, and most of the time, if I got car sick, it was because she was driving. But there was one time where we were driving around the outer rim of the Grand Canyon, and all of the twists and turns were making me, I was driving, and they were making me nauseous. And I'm like, I gotta pull over and eat something. And my husband, he heard that story. He's like, you made yourself car sick. Oh man, but it was the motion, it's not my fault. Anyway, I have a very sensitive stomach, and many things will make me feel nauseous. And pregnancy is just worse. Although at this point I'm 35 now, and I have a pretty good handle on what will set me off. I can feel it coming, so I can do things like deep breathing exercises or eat something or whatever it is. I know myself pretty well at this point. But pregnancy nausea, again, is different because it's just hormones, and you can't do much about hormones. However, I learned the other night that, at least this has worked a few times, peppermint tea was very helpful to settle my stomach. When I was feeling nauseous, I had some peppermint tea, and I would always gravitate towards ginger tea or ginger things. I do have some ginger candies and ginger chews and some sour candy, all of which do help with the nausea. But I really wanted some tea, and I really wanted peppermint tea, so I made myself some. And it settled the nausea, and I was thinking, gee, this is good. So I bought a whole box of peppermint tea, and I don't know, I feel like looking back now, I think maybe I've seen that recommended, and I never tried, or maybe I did try it, it didn't work in the past, I don't recall. I always would go for ginger things, but the peppermint tea, at least recently, it did help. Okay, see how this is quite yellow into the greens. I want to bring a little bit more of the green over to the yellow area. So I'm going back into Oceanic. I'll just use the same brush. Back into the algae shade. And I'm just gonna, I don't know, put it somewhere. I'm just gonna put it somewhere. I'll start in the crease here. And I think I'll blend it onto the lid a little bit, so that the dark greens transition through a light green into the yellow. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. This is probably gonna be all matte. I'm not expecting to use any shimmers. When I saw Angie's look, I was like, you know what? That's really cute. And it's really simple and easy. But I don't want to buy that palette. I have no interest in the Muppets, or the Muppets Christmas Special, or several of the tones in that palette. Plus it has a couple of pressed glitters. I just don't want it. However, I did want to recreate this look, and I thought, I've got the two Ace Beauté palettes that have those awesome acid, lemon, lime, neon sorts of colors, which I always use and I always enjoy using. It would be fun to pair them together and make something like this. And here we are. I'm wiping my brush off on a color switch or a napkin or whatever, and I'm gonna take it to just the edges. I don't want to bring more color here, I just want to buff out this edge right here. I love how this is looking. This is so simple and quick, but I just love it. And I do prefer all matte to all shimmer. I mean, I like shimmer, but I like all matte if I had to choose. Now I'm trying to decide what to do for the lower lash line. Now, Angie, she just mirrored on the lower what she did on the upper. I kind of want to do that. And I also kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to take the shade Fiji in the Oceanic palette. No, I don't think I'm going to do that because it's going to bring in a lot of cool toned, and I kind of want to leave this a little bit more yellow based. So I'm going to dip back into algae using this very same brush, and I'll just carry it through my inner corner and onto the lower lash line all the way out to the end. Ordinarily, I wouldn't use such a large edged brush for my lower lash line, but because this is such a light color, I don't mind, because this is, sorry for the dog's noises, this is basically like my buffing out or my transition shade, and I will deepen parts of it from here. I'm learning to be more careful about which brush I use on the lower lash line because I don't want the color to be too thick. Now I'll take a smudger brush and dip into Turtle, lay this on the outer corner, or I'll say the outer half actually. Bring it in a little bit further. Because I did deepen that outer corner with that other even darker shade, so I'll lay Turtle on the outer third or half. And then I'll go back into Pacific, which is the darkest shade I used, and touch the extreme outer corner. It adds almost nothing, but it does add something. Then I'll dip back into Flare with a really small pencil brush and grab the shade Sherbert. It's not actually a really small pencil brush, it's just a small one. And I'm gonna lay this on my inner corner and on top of that green, just in the very inner third to bring that yellow through. If I had decided to do a little bit of shimmer, I might put it at the inner corner as a little highlight, but I actually like these tones here. And that's it. What do you think? I think it's lovely. I'm going to obviously go off camera, catch up the other side, find a waterline color, and I'll be back in a second to show you guys how it finally looks. Alright, so here's how it all turned out. This is the final look. I did black eyeliner, but I didn't wing it out. In my waterline, I used a shade from ColourPop's Creme Gel Liners. Most of what I have is Creme Gel Liners from ColourPop. This is the shade Aglow from their Lush Life series. I also put on a little bit of color in my cheeks using this from Physicians Formula. It's linked down below. Everything is linked down below in the description box. And then I used a Nomad Cosmetics highlighter. And that's everything. I didn't do any blush or bronzer aside from that Physicians Formula thing. And I mean, that's about everything. As you can see, I pretty much beat the sun. It's just coming up from my window now. It might have made me a little bit yellow. I'm sorry about that. And I did beat my daughter, so now I get to go do something else for a little while. I love how this look turned out. I think it's so pretty. It's so fun and vibrant, and it was really, really simple. I'm going to link in the description box Angelica's video using the Muppets palette where she basically did this look. If you have that palette and you want to recreate it, then you can just find her video down below. Thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you liked what you saw. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and hit the notification bell. And until I see you guys again very, very soon, I hope you have a great day. Bye!